لذلك نحن بحاجة إلى تجديد مفهوم المدن إلى مدن مستقبلية. اليوم بصفتي رئيس مجلس إدارة نيوم نقدم لكم The Line.
Saudi Arabia's Megacity plan, a utopia or a dystopian future? In this video, we'll explore Saudi Arabia's ambitious plans to build a futuristic city called NEOM in the desert, and the potential implications of using Chinese tech for total surveillance in the city. By 2040, Saudi Arabia is aiming to build NEOM, which is part of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's modernizing vision of the country. NEOM is the centerpiece of the Crown Prince's attempt to modernize the country and reduce its reliance on fossil fuels. Before we continue, if you're new here, please subscribe and join our community. By subscribing, you'll be the first to know about our latest videos on geopolitics, economics, and finance trends. And if you find this video informative and insightful, please give it a like. Likes help our channel reach a wider audience, which means more people can benefit from our content. Thank you for your support. Now let's dive in the topic. NEOM's executive director, Giles Pendleton, has said that construction for the project is proceeding rapidly, and the city will house 9 million residents by 2045. According to Pendleton, NEOM will be made up of 10 regions, with one region, known as The Line, being marketed as a zero-carbon area where residents' data will be used to adjust services to their needs. The city is set to have a 100-mile-long vertical skyscraper running through its heart, also known as the Strip. It will also feature glow-in-the-dark beaches, ski slopes, an artificial moon, robot butlers, and flying taxis, according to glossy brochures and public statements by its planners. However, behind the outlandish plan, which was developed by Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, is a potentially much darker reality. Chinese tech could be used to place residents under total surveillance, with some warning that the futuristic and luxurious vision in NEOM's brochures conceals a darker project in line with Crown Prince Mohammed's authoritarian instincts. Last December, the Crown Prince welcomed Xi to Saudi Arabia for a lavish summit, where the leaders announced cooperation across a broad range of issues, including surveillance technology. It appeared to be the beginning of a fruitful partnership for Crown Prince Mohammed. In Xi Jinping, experts say he found a leader who shares his conviction that technology can enable them to expand their economies while relinquishing none of their authoritarian control. We're not yet seeing quite the same degree of sort of physical surveillance in Saudi Arabia as we've been seeing in China, for example, but China is working with the Saudis and other Gulf countries to start to implement that. Anel Shalin, a researcher with the Quincy Institute in Washington, D.C., told Insider. That is something the Chinese are selling to the Saudis and other Gulf countries, she said. The Chatham House researcher James Sharas said that one form this technology took was surveillance cameras linked to facial recognition technology that could be used to trace past and real-time movements. It also represents a real risk to people's privacy, especially depending on how the data is collected and stored, he said. Chinese technology provides the capacity to link surveillance camera footage to other datasets, including biometric information. Another potential concern is cloud technology, specifically the companies that store huge amounts of computer data. The Chinese telecoms giant Huawei has already signed contracts with Saudi Arabia, including in NEOM, and James said there were huge questions about how much privacy protection the firm would provide users in the city. Saudi Arabia has recently moved to strengthen its data privacy laws, but organizations including Human Rights Watch have warned that the laws are too weak. While casting himself as a reformer, Crown Prince Mohammed has dealt brutally with critics and opponents of the Saudi government, with the U.S. State Department accusing his government of the 2018 murder of the Saudi dissident Jamal Khashoggi. As he has sought to consolidate his power, he has also worked to enhance his capacity to monitor critics through technology and thereby crush dissent. The Saudi government used the Israeli spyware Pegasus to hack the phones of several Saudi dissidents and human rights activists. This has raised concerns about the potential use of surveillance technology in NEOM to monitor and suppress dissent. According to Marwa Fatafta, the policy manager at Access Now, a Berlin-based digital rights organization, NEOM's planned use of AI and data collection could lead to a dystopian future where residents are placed under total surveillance. There is no doubt that the level of surveillance that the Saudi government is using today is alarming, and there are grave concerns about how it's going to use NEOM as a tool for repression, Fatafta told Insider. She added that with the smart city model, everything is connected, everything is controlled, everything is monitored, and so there's really no privacy. Fatafta's concerns are shared by others who warn that NEOM's vision of a utopian city is at odds with Crown Prince Mohammed's authoritarian instincts. In recent years, the Saudi government has stepped up its efforts to silence dissidents and human rights activists, with a crackdown on civil society groups, women's rights activists, and journalists. The government has also introduced strict social media laws that allow for the prosecution of individuals who criticize the regime on social media. Experts warn that the use of surveillance technology in NEOM could provide the Saudi government with unprecedented access to the personal data of its citizens, making it easier to identify and punish those who speak out against the regime. According to Anela Shaleen, a researcher with the Quincy Institute in Washington, D.C., NEOM's use of surveillance technology could lead to a totalitarian state in which the government has complete control over its citizens. It's a very scary vision because it's not just surveillance that can be used to monitor individuals, but it's surveillance that can be used to control individuals, she told Insider. Shaleen added that the use of Chinese technology in NEOM could exacerbate these concerns, given China's track record of using technology to suppress dissent. There are real concerns about how China is exporting its surveillance technology and how it's using that technology to control people, she said. Is NEOM a utopia or a dystopian future? The question remains. Is NEOM a utopia or a dystopian future? On the one hand, NEOM's futuristic vision of a zero-carbon city with state-of-the-art technology and luxurious amenities could be seen as a utopian dream come true. But on the other hand, concerns about the potential use of surveillance technology to monitor and suppress dissent, coupled with the Saudi government's poor human rights record, suggest that NEOM could be a dystopian nightmare. As Fatafta told Insider, it's not enough to build a smart city. It's not enough to build something that's aesthetically pleasing. What's important is to build something that's equitable, that's respectful of human rights. It remains to be seen whether NEOM will live up to its promise of a utopian city or whether it will become a tool of repression in the hands of an authoritarian regime. Now, while the plans for NEOM might sound impressive, there are many concerns that have been raised. Firstly, the project's estimated cost is around $500 billion, which is a staggering amount of money. Some critics have questioned whether this money could be better spent on other projects that would benefit the wider population of Saudi Arabia. Another concern is the impact that the project could have on the environment. NEOM is planned to be built on a 26,500 square kilometer area, which is almost the size of Belgium. This means that there will be a significant amount of land that will need to be cleared for construction, which could have a negative impact on local ecosystems. There are also concerns about the human rights implications of the project. Critics have argued that the government's treatment of migrant workers and women's rights in Saudi Arabia are already major issues, and that the construction of NEOM could exacerbate these problems. All of these issues raise important questions about the potential consequences of Saudi Arabia's megacity plan. So, what do you think about the NEOM project? Is it a utopian dream or a dystopian future? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this video informative, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to see you in the comments section in future